the 3 worst fatal mistakes you can make on your Praxis 2 testing day. Maybe you finally got that Praxis 2 test coach, tutor, and mentor online so you can stop trying to build your teaching career by trial and error. If so, you already cut through the confusing fog of vast, overwhelming Praxis 2 test content, and you dropped your test anxiety like an old glove. You finally stopped losing precious time trying to figure out what content will appear on your upcoming exam. You now have a laser beam-like Praxis 2 focus thanks to your new test coach friend. Your Praxis 2 test coach performed a Praxis 2 testing readiness assessment of your strong areas and your blind spots. From this analysis, you and your personal test coach created your Praxis 2 test success blueprint. You pole vaulted yourself from hopelessness and gut-wrenching fear to being 100% prepared to pass the Praxis 2 in only 7 days. You now feel confident and truly competent to defeat your real Praxis 2 questions on your upcoming testing day. But what happens when it comes time to walk into that dreaded Praxis testing room? Your Praxis 2 test coach and mentor can help you with that too. Here are a few simple tricks you may have heard of, but if you don't use, you lose. If you want to ensure that you don't cripple your Praxis 2 score with these embarrassingly common Praxis 2 mistakes, then let's see how a little upstream strategy can prevent your worst Praxis 2 nightmare. Listen up. When your Praxis 2 test coach, tutor, and mentor gives you advice, which often comes from her own personal teacher certification experience, working with hundreds of Praxis 2 test takers and years of practice exam experience, don't make the oh-so-common error in thinking, "Oh, I know that. I've heard those tips before." It's not what you know that counts, it's only what you do that will yield you the passing Praxis 2 score. If you don't use it, you'll lose it, except you will get some answers wrong. Not knowing the correct answer on your Praxis exam is not a good feeling. However, don't beat yourself up and panic when this inevitably happens. The Praxis 2 is designed so nobody gets 100%. No standardized test is created that way. Take a deep breath, stay calm, and remain focused on your goal. You must accept the fact that you can get a lot incorrect answers and still get a passing score. This obvious truth helps lower the pressure, stress, and anxiety that will likely be a part of your experience on testing day. Don't get bogged down on questions you won't get correct. Don't let the questions you don't know psych you out and ruin this short opportunity you have to pass. Instead of losing confidence, focus on answering all the questions you do know. The amount of questions you need to get correct is incredibly lower than 100% or even 80%. So when you're taking the Praxis 2 and not sure of the answer, don't start panicking. Just eliminate the answers that you know aren't correct and make an educated guess on the last 2 possibly correct answers. Quickly move forward to the next question and focus on maximizing your score by answering all the questions you do know. Don't pay attention to other Praxis test takers, even if you're the last person in the room on testing day. Don't feel anxious or rush yourself to finish. If you finish your Praxis 2 questions before time is up, use all the time given to get the best possible score. However, this isn't the time to change answers. The most recent test-taking studies show your first impression is correct 83% of the time. If you have time left, look over answers you may have skipped. Check your answer sheet for mistakes due to being rushed. This is your time to revisit complicated questions or problem solutions you didn't have much time on when you were pacing yourself. It's usually a case study, big reading passage, essay questions, or mathematics type question. If you finish early, a little extra time in those questions can mean the difference between pass and fail. Use all of the time you're given to take your Praxis 2. Realize when you see some test takers walking out of the room before the time is up. They're probably making this deadly mistake. Those test takers are leaving extra points on the table they needed to actually win the Praxis 2 game. Pass your Praxis 2, not win the race of finishing first. Understand the instructions and test questions before walking into the test. You must know the Praxis 2 instructions for each section before your testing date. Don't waste your limited time during your test stressing over what the directions are in each part of your exam. If all else fails, then at least carefully read the instructions on the test so you don't make assumptions about what the instructions are and derail your teaching career aspirations. You must also get familiar with the typical format, structure, and wording of Praxis 2 questions before your test date. Not doing so will cause you to struggle, lose time, and make foolish mistakes during the test. Avoid these common causes of Praxis 2 failure before the Niagara Falls of teaching certification is 5 feet from your face and you find yourself in a boat without oars. And it's not too late to get the help you need. If you're looking for proven documented Praxis 2 techniques, study guides, and customized personal help to pass your Praxis 2 and live your passion as a certified educator, then see this free How to Pass the Praxis 2 personal letter from David Dawson at www.teachingsolutions.org/praxisii.html right now.